Namaste, beautiful yogis. If you're here already, getting ready, you can just place your mat, have a pillow ready or a cushion. We might use that at the beginning or the end of the class. And yeah, you can just make your way into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you, maybe with your legs crossed or sitting up on your heels. So we're gonna sit in that comfortable seat, start our practice in the comfortable seats. And the main thing is that your spine is long so that you can breathe clearly, but make sure you're comfortable. And you can use a pillow as well or a cushion to prop yourself up. That will help, especially if you have tight hips and it's uncomfortable in your knees. Sit yourself up on a cushion. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes before we begin the class. Yeah, so just making yourself comfortable before we begin. And if you are already in your comfortable seat, you might want to just sit still, take a moment just to be still and let your thoughts flow through your mind. It's always a nice way to begin the practice. And maybe just checking that you've got anything that you might need. For this practice, I've only really specified that you may be practicing on a carpet, which is fine. I do sometimes practice on the floor, but it's great if you do have a mat, something soft for your joints to lean on. But the great thing about yoga is that you could be minimal and practice pretty much anywhere. So those things are supplementary, if you like, but get them ready if you've got them. As well as any blocks, you can always use them for variations. I haven't got any blocks with me today, but you have that option. We're all completely different in different poses, so sometimes a block can be great to use. So we're going to get started. So namaste, beautiful yogis. If you've just arrived, how are you doing today? So today's class is going to be an all over body balancing act, but we're going to be focusing especially on the shoulders. So we are going to be working through the whole body, but I want you to focus on specific cues and alignments of the shoulders. You may or may not have heard of chaturanga. If you've practiced for a while, you'll probably have heard of it. And this is a really actually difficult pose to get the alignment correct. So our shoulders are made to be really, really flexible, and that's great because it's really practical, obviously, for all the things that we need to do, and not really made so stable because we don't tend to walk around on our hands, even though with yoga we may be doing some poses like that. But we're going to be focusing on strengthening, creating flexibility, but also stability in the shoulder. And what we need to, in order to do that, is to strengthen the smaller muscles, the smaller muscle groups. And this is going to help because what usually happens is when we jump into that chaturanga, which is kind of our yogic press up, we tend to, if we haven't got the strength, the bigger muscles will switch on first and they will override those smaller muscles, which actually give us more stability and protect the shoulder. So really helpful as well if you do any other sports, just to keep the shoulder healthy, remembering that what we're looking for is to create flexibility and stability at the same time, which kind of, they go against each other, but with yoga we can help to build both, so really important. So just bearing that in mind, let's get onto our mats. So we're going to start in our comfortable seat. So that can either be with your legs crossed, or sitting up on your heels, whichever position you feel most comfortable in. Also, you can use that cushion to sit yourself up on. That's especially helpful if you have really tight hips. So we're going to place our hands on our knees. And we're going to start straight away with just releasing some tension, doing some Kapalabhati breathing. So with Kapalabhati, we're going to be focusing on the exhalation. You can even place your hands on your belly and you're going to be pressing the air out. So we're going to go for 10 rounds. Take a few rounds of breath before we start. Inhaling and exhaling. And now inhaling, we're going to release. So pressing the belly in for 7 and 10. Fully releasing your 10th exhalation. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then take a deep breath in. Just sit still without now controlling the breath. We are going to do 2 more rounds. But just sit there with the sensations left over. And now taking another deep breath in, we're going to continue. Moving straight into Kapalabhati, so exhaling. And in your 10th breath, draw your belly button in. Fully exhale, hold it out for a moment. And now breathe in fully. And let go of the breath, let go of manipulating the breath. And just sit. Let's go for 1 more round. So deep breath in. Once again, place your hand on your belly, fully exhaling for 10. On your last round, fully exhale, hold it out now for 3 counts. And breathe in. And let the breath go. Let your belly be soft. And let your shoulders just drop down. Just checking in with how you feel right here, right now. Noticing how your energy is. And just observing. So not labeling anything good or bad, just observe how your energy is. Taking a breath in. As you exhale, release in the shoulders. Breathing again. As you exhale, release in the shoulders again. Last round. Consciously breathing in and exhale, letting the shoulders fully release. going to begin our practice, or our moving practice I should say, it's already begun, with a deep inhalation, and we're going to hum it out. So it's kind of an umming hum, so the lips close together. Take a deep breath in, and exhale with a really nice. Gently making your way up onto your knees and your ankles. And you're going to bring your arms by your sides, moving the shoulder blades together. Exhale, draw your forearms together. So we're moving through a cat and cow movement. Breathe in as you open up the arms. Exhale as you draw your forearms together. We're going to begin to move through Ujjayi breath. So our Ujjayi breath is when we contract the throat. So you feel the breath moving in and out of the throat. So slight constriction. And your breath will be audible to you. Ujjayi is sometimes known as ocean breath. Very nice. Press into your shins. You're going to come up. Keep moving through your cat and cow. Drawing the shoulder blades together and then expanding the shoulder blades apart. Sit back. Bring your hips towards your heels. Keep moving. Continuously moving through your cat and cow. And now see if you can keep moving the spine. You're going to reach down with your arms. Come onto all fours, continuously moving through your cat and cow. Inhaling for one movement, exhaling for the opposite. Really rippling in the spine. Next time you come into your cat pose, so looking towards your thighs, doming your spine, press into your palms. We're going to hold it here, keep breathing. Holding for 3 rounds of breath. And now gently softening the elbows and moving into a slight back bend. Look all the way up. We're going to hold this cow pose. Another few rounds of breath. Very nice. Come back to a tabletop. So lengthening up the spine. Bring your knees a little bit wider than hip width. Drop your hips towards your heels. Come down into your child's pose, Balasana. And release here. So this is your resting pose. If you need it at any stage of the class, listen to your body. I always say, the more advanced your practice, the more you're in tune with what you need, when you need to rest, or maybe when you need to push a little further. Fully letting go as you exhale, tell your body to release. Last round. Press into your palms, extend your arms out, and as if you can grip the floor with your hands, draw yourself all the way up. So your hands a little bit further ahead of you than tabletop. You're going to press into the hands. Keep a long spine. So from your knees all the way to your shoulders, and then drop your hips, press into the palms, draw your shoulder blades together, and now draw your shoulder blades apart. So this is a detailed movement where you're going to press into your palms, draw the shoulder blades apart, and then allow your chest to drop. Keep your arms straight, shoulder blades come together. So coming through our scapular presses. This is one of the movements which is really great to strengthen those smaller muscles. A really great way to prepare our bodies for chaturanga. I'm going to do a few more rounds. Feel that massaging sensation. Shoulder blades come together, chest expands, press into the palms, shoulder blades come apart. 2 more times. Still breathing. Press yourself up again. Straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Come back into that tabletop position. And we're going to extend the arms out in front of us, coming to puppy pose. Hips above the knees. Press into your palms, lengthening out the arms. And breathe. Breathing from the diaphragm, so your belly is soft. And softening the forehead. Your next inhalation, we're going to make our way up, press back into your palms. And from here, we're going to move from a child's pose. So hips come towards the heels, press back into your palms, hips come up, lengthening out the spine, straight line, knees all the way up to the shoulders, and then drop your hips, slight bend in the elbows, open up the chest. Shoulder blades come together, straight line again, knees all the way to the shoulders, tabletop, then child's pose. It's going to move a little bit quicker, but just being really detailed with every movement. So we drop the hips, puff the chest, press back into your palms, straight back. Still breathing, still flowing. So breaking down that vinyasa. Move at your individual pace. So coming to a tabletop, gently drop the hips, puff the chest, shoulder blades come together. Slight bend in the elbows. Now pressing back into your palms, straight arms, hips come back to heels. Couple more times. Coming forward through your tabletop, then we drop the hips, straight arms still. To the very last moment, bend in the elbows, puff the chest. Last round. And we're going to bend in the elbows. Stay here, looking straight ahead. Feel that tension in the arms. Draw the shoulder blades together, so consciously. Strong arms. Feeling the opening, the top part of the chest. Even trying to create space from your tailbone. Tendency is to crunch there, so if you can create space. One more deep breath, and we're going to lower ourselves all the way onto our bellies. Come into your Sphinx pose here. So forearms are no wider than shoulder width. If you find that you're collapsing, you need to bring your elbows a little bit further in front of you. Press into the tops of your feet. This is a great pose as well. Anyone who suffers from lower back pain, which is really, really common, especially just from us having to sit still so long at a desk, maybe having to drive from that position. So this pose is really great to release that. Maybe closing the eyes down here. One last deep breath, breathing in, and as you exhale again, release. Very nice. We're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, place on the palms, the palms underneath the shoulders. Hug your elbows in tight, and we're going to press into our hands. We're going to come all the way back up into that position. So knees down, supported. We're going to move through some chaturanga presses. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Press yourself back up. Make sure that you're not dropping the hips. Gaze is straight ahead. And as you move through this, I want you to notice what's happening with the shoulder blades. Can we retract, draw them apart, draw them together? Let's go for 3 more rounds. For 2. And we'll be moving through the whole body. So I know the arms are getting it right now, but we'll be moving into the rest. So they'll get a rest too. Gently lower all the way down onto your belly now. Staying up in an up dog. So keep your hands, you can release them just to make sure I'm not using my hands here to hold myself in this position. Press into the tops of your feet. Head is just an extension of your neck. Breathe into your belly. Take 3 deep breaths. Very nice. Place your palms under the shoulders, pressing up in that position. Elbows hugging tight to the rib cage, all the way up, and gently bring the hips towards the heels. Very nice. Looking in between your hands, we're going to raise the hips up. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Bending into your right knee, then your left. Rock side to side. Still breathing. Very nice. We're going to look in between the hands now. We're going to do a few hops. So the aim is to land as gently as possible. We're going to go for 5 rounds. So looking in between your hands, bend into your knees, and then hop forward, and then we're going to hop back. So for 5, for 4, keep your gaze where you're aiming to land your feet. For 3, for 2, and for 1, releasing here. Keep your thighs now towards your rib cage, and I want you to bend your knees, keeping your fingertips on the mat, just swaying side to side, releasing the backs of the legs and releasing the spine. Really nice. Gently lower your hips now all the way to your heels. We're going to come down, moving through all of Navasana. So you can place your hands behind the thighs, raise your right leg, then your left, hands in front of you in prayer. I'm going to twist over to one side, then the other. Keep your chest puffing forward. Keep breathing. Spread your toes. Let's go for 10. For 9. Optional to extend the legs as long as you can keep that straight spine. For 6. For 5. Strengthening the core. And this is a great way to waken up the body. Waking up those core muscles that we'll need for the following rounds through our sequence. Very nice. We're going to lower both legs to the mat. Step your right foot over the left, and we're going to twist, facing your right inner thigh. Bring your right hand behind you, and just extend the spine. Breathe in, exhale, twist. Flex your left foot. 2 deep breaths. The last round, breathe in, draw the crown of the head up. Exhale, and let's release. Step your right leg alongside the left. Gonna come over to the opposite side. Left foot comes over the right leg. Hug that left inner thigh in towards your belly. Left hand behind you. Breathing in, draw the crown of the head up. Flex that right foot. Exhale, twist. Detoxifying twist. One more round, breathing in, crown of the head comes up, and gently exhale, releasing. We're going to cross the right leg over the left, hands come in front of you. Optional to hop or walk your feet back, straight back into downward dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Nice. We're going to rock forward, come into a high plank. Optional to lower the knees down or hover from a high plank. Keep your hips strong, elbows hug in towards the ribcage. Optional to come into up dog or come into your cobra. Draw your shoulder blades together here, press into the tops of the feet. Take 2 deep breaths. And press into your palms, hips come all the way back up, downward dog. Take a breath. Right leg comes up, nice and high. We're going to step our right foot all the way in between our hands. Press into your right foot. Rise up. Vira 1. And this time we're going to reach behind us, reach for opposite elbows with the hands. And just spread your toes. Looking straight ahead. Extend your spine. You can tilt your hips forward, so it's kind of a Michael Jackson move. Extending that tailbone. And we're going to fold forward. Exhale. Breathe in, press into your right foot. Inhale, come up. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. 2 more rounds. Moving at your pace. Your pace of breath dictates the rhythm. Very nice. Releasing your arms now. Place your hands by the sides of that right foot. You can gently bring the left foot a little bit closer. Your left foot slightly spiraling out. And gently begin to extend the right leg. We're not fully warmed up, just moving cautiously, checking in with your hamstring there. If this is too much as well, you can place your hands on the calf, lengthen the spine, keep your hips facing forward. Take a couple of rounds of deep breaths. Very nice. Next round, we're going to bend into that right knee. Place your palms, framing that right foot. Right leg comes back. Optional to lower the knees down or hover down from a high to low plank. Elbows always tucked to our sides. Cobra or up dog. Take 2 deep breaths in your up dog or cobra. Press back. Hips come all the way back into downward dog. Take 2 rounds of breath. Left leg comes up high, and let's step our left foot in between our hands, looking down to that left foot, moving with control, reaching up, and now we're going to bring the arms behind us, reaching for opposite elbows. So tilting the hips forward, lengthen the tailbone, draw the crown of the head up, and we're going to exhale, fold over your left thigh, breathe in, come up. For 4, for 3, for 2. Make sure your front knee is above the ankle. And for 1, folding forward. Press down into your right leg and begin to extend the right leg. You can release your arms now. Bring your right foot a little bit closer. Foot slightly turning inward. Optional to walk your hands down the shin or have your hands on the floor. Finding your sweet spot, so just noticing how tight your hamstrings may be. You can always keep a slight bend in the knee if they're really tight. It's quite easy for us to tear the connections just to the top of the hip, so just bear that in mind. Gently move into this pose. And maybe your hands on the shins. So if you can extend your spine, make it longer. Breathing into the backs of your legs. One more deep breath. And we're going to bend into that left knee. Hands come down, framing your left foot. The left leg comes back. High plank, optional to lower the knees, moving through your vinyasa. Elbows tight to the sides. Up dog or cobra, 3 rounds of breath. Using your breath to invigorate you. Press back into your palms, hips come all the way back. 2 rounds of breath and downward dog. Nice, right leg comes up. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Pressing into your right foot, high lunge. And from here, we're going to lower the left heel, warrior 2 now. Keeping that right knee above the right ankle. Reach up with your right arm. You're going to reach up with your left, holding your right elbow with the left hand. And just allowing your head to lean onto that bicep. Keep pressing into your right foot. Optional to stay here, or we're going to raise the heel and then the toes. So raising the heel and then the toes. And see if you can isolate the movement to that foot. This always reminds me of those soldiers who stand outside Buckingham Palace. I've forgotten their names, with the big hats. And apparently in order to, I remember this at school, they told us, they came in to see us, that they wiggle their toes in order to stay so still. So you can visualize, actually we're releasing the movement in the foot, which is helping us keep the rest of the body still. And now we're going to lower the right toes down, spread the toes. Pressing into your inner thigh. See if you can open up that right inner thigh a little bit more. And we're going to release the arms. Release your right elbow on top of that right thigh. Exhale, and your left arm comes up and over. Side angle. Creating a really nice straight line from the side of your left foot all the way to the tips of your left fingers. Optional to stay here, maybe releasing your right arm by your ear. Strong legs, keep drawing the inner thighs together. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath. Imagine you're holding a volleyball in between your hands. If you released your right arm. And on your next exhalation, we're gently going to float down. Bring your hands, frame your right foot, press into the mat. Right leg comes back. Take your vinyasa of choice. So lowering the knees. Or hovering down, high to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Press into the palms. 1 more round of breath. And we're going to drop the hips all the way back. Downward dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Nice. Left leg comes up nice and high. And now let's step the left foot forward in between the hands. Pressing into your left foot. Rise on up. And we're going to gently, I'm going to twist around so I can demonstrate. Come into your warrior 2. So your back foot is spiraling inward about 45 degrees. Left knee is above the ankle. Reach up with your left arm. Right arm comes up for the elbow, catches the elbow. Place your palm in between your shoulder blades. And then just settle into this pose, leaning into your arm. Catching your breath. Raising your left heel and then maybe raising the toes. Or maybe staying still. So your choice of variation. Relax your forehead, relax your jaw. Still breathing. How is your breath right now? And let's lower the left toes down, spread the toes, sink a little bit deeper into this warrior 2. Press into your feet, press into that bicep. And we're going to release the left arm onto that left thigh, reaching up and over. Draw your fingertips as far away from you as you can. Optional to stay here or maybe extending that left arm. You can imagine you're holding a ball above your head. Keep pressing down into the feet and really drawing those inner thighs together. And I want you to notice what's happening with your shoulder blades. Can you draw them together too? 2 more rounds of breath here. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. Happy Mondays. Right back to it. And we're gently, with control, going to twist towards the left knee. Bring both palms down. Press into the mat. Left leg comes back. Taking your vinyasa of choice. So either supporting yourself with the knees down, elbows tight, look straight ahead, up dog or cobra. 3 rounds of breath. If you're in your up dog, make sure you're pressing into your feet. We're going to draw the hips all the way back. Downward dog. Take 2 rounds of breath. Beautiful. Right leg comes up. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Root through your right foot. Draw yourself up. High lunge. Opening up, warrior 2. And now we're going to look over that right knee. Heel toe your left foot a little bit closer. And you're going to place your hand on the right thigh. Extend your left leg just for a moment. Keep a bend in your right knee. Choose a point to focus for your gaze. Keep rooting through your right foot. So kind of coming into a half moon. Keep pressing down into the right foot. Very nice. And now you're going to look towards your right foot. Step your left foot alongside. Coming into Utkatasana, bending both knees. Extending both arms by your ears. Bring your hands into prayer in front of your chest. Left elbow comes over the right thigh. You can look down. What tends to happen is one knee tends to move in front of the other. Keep them parallel. Big toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Keep pressing into the feet. Come back to center. Strong thighs. Lengthen up the spine. Twist over towards opposite side, left side. Pressing that right elbow into the outside of the left thigh. Knees are parallel. Big toes are parallel. So you can get your hands to the midline of your chest. One more deep breath. Come back to center. Press into your feet. Raise your heels up. How are your legs? I know you're feeling it. Lower the heels down. Step your feet a little bit wider. And we're gently going to fold over our legs. Reaching for opposite elbows. Let your head be heavy. Breathing. Slow and deep. Really let your spine release. Make sure you're not holding your head up with your neck. So shake your head, yes and no. And breathe. Beautiful. We're going to release the hands now to the shins. Press into your shins. Really grip the legs. Using that grip to make your way up. All the way up the thighs. Really pressing down. Lengthen your spine. Once you get here, once you get to that crease at the top of your thighs, press down into your thighs and use that leverage to lengthen the spine a little bit more, drawing the crown of the head up. Take 2 deep breaths. And now from here, we're going to press into your feet, lengthen the legs, slowly but surely. Coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe here. Close the eyes. I'm going to roll the shoulders. Nice. Place your hands on your hips. I'm going to draw a figure of 8. Really nice way to warm up the hips even more. Going in one direction and then circling the opposite way. Still breathing. And now pressing back into your feet. We're going to come into some balancing poses. Super excited. Fun part of the class. So we're going to spread the right toes. Bring your left leg in front of you. So just raising the knee. Draw the crown of the head up. Optional to stay here or maybe extend that left leg up. Looking towards your toes. Keep pressing down and drawing up. So those opposing forces. And now bend back into your left knee. We're going to reach back with the left hand, catching the left foot. Bring the heel towards your hip. And I want you to once again Lengthen out the body. So press down into your right foot. Draw the crown of the head up. Feel yourself lengthen. Choose a point for your gaze. Keep it there. And now we're gently going to bend into the right knee. We're going to kick back that left leg. You can extend your right arm in front of you. So coming to our dancer's pose. See if you can balance out the hips. This is a great pose. Tap release in the shoulder, as well as getting a release in the quads. Take 3 more rounds of breath. Final round. Press back into your right foot. Releasing gently as slowly as you can. Releasing the left leg down to meet the right. And we're gently going to walk our hands down the thighs. Lengthen the spine. Really gripping the shins. Keep lengthening in the spine. Making your way all the way to the mat. And from here we're going to walk the legs all the way back. Coming straight into a high plank. Maybe bring the knees down. Move through your vinyasa. Elbows hugging tight. Cobra for 3 breaths or up dog for 3 breaths. Press into your palms, shoulder blades together. Straight into downward dog. 2 deep breaths. Left leg comes up. Step your left foot forward in between your hands. Press down into the left foot, rise into your high lunge. Open up, warrior 2. Very nice. I'm going to place the left hand on the left thigh. Heel toe that right foot a little bit closer. Choose your point of gaze. Keep it there. Keep pressing down into your left foot. Coming to that half moon. Right leg rises. And these balancing poses are great to still the mind, especially if you've had a busy day. Sometimes it's hard to slow down. We want to change our rhythm. And we tend to stay at the same rhythm sometimes, especially if we're doing lots of things. How is your breathing here? 1 more deep breath. I'm going to look straight ahead. Step your right foot to meet the left. Utkatasana, chair pose. Big toes are touching. Knees are touching. So a little bit lower. Bring your hands into the midline of your chest. I'm going to twist over to the right side. Left elbow over the right thigh. So if you can get your hands more to the center line of your chest. Make sure that those knees are parallel. Maybe you extend your left arm down the side of the right leg or reaching up with the right arm. Coming back to center. Hands in the midline of the chest. Lengthen the spine and then twist over to your left side. Right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Keep pressing down through your feet. Option to stay here or drop the right arm down that left leg. Left hand comes high. Take 2 deep breaths. Very nice. Calming back, palms together. Coming back to center. Can you feel it? I know I can. Raise the heels off the mat. Lower the heels. Almost there. Step your feet apart. Walk your hands down the legs. Coming into a fold over. Optional to reach behind you for opposite elbows. Or maybe you just let your arms hang this time. Find the variation that works best for you. And let go. Very nice. We're going to bring the hips towards the heels. Optional to come into your yogic squats. And if this is difficult for you to hold, you can grab a cushion, sit yourself up on your cushion. So bringing the biceps, the triceps, the inner thighs. Or we're going to go into a crow pose. If you've never done crow pose, take it step by step. So first step is to bring the knees into the armpits. Spread your fingers really wide and keep your gaze straight ahead. Remember, your body will follow where your gaze is. So if you're looking down, you're most likely to roly-poly. So just feeling the weight in the backs of your arms, allowing your body to learn how it feels to hold you here. Second stage is to raise one foot and the other. Third stage to raise both. So don't rush the process. Enjoy each stage. There's no rush. Patience is a great thing. And we enjoy it when we learn to trust the process. And we gently from a yogic squat. Gonna press into our feet, press into the inner thighs. Hands come towards your knees. I want you to use the strength in your arms, lengthen the spine, begin to extend the legs. Turn your toes inward, and now walk your hands up the thighs, coming to that crease, and really using that crease to help lengthen the spine a little bit more. Still breathing. And let's press into the feet. Come back into mountain pose, Tadasana. Release your arms. Release your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe closing your eyes. See if you can hear your heartbeat here. And breathing in, roll your shoulders back. You're going to take a deep breath in. Bring your hands up above your head to the center line over your forehead. Take a deep breath in. On our exhalation, we're going to hum it out again. So lips together. And exhaling on. And gently releasing. We're going to come over now, balancing on the opposite side. So you're going to step onto your left foot. Press into that left foot. Raise the right leg up. Now, we want to keep those opposing forces going. So press down into the foot. Head comes nice and high. Option to stay here, bending the right knee. Maybe extending that right leg in front of you. Still breathing. Are you still breathing? Noticing the pace of your breath here. I'm going to bend into your right knee now. And I'll reach back, catching the right foot. Draw the heel towards your glute. That big muscle. And flex the foot. And now keeping a slight bend in the left knee, we're going to kick back with the right leg. Left arm comes in front of us. So you balance out the hips. Choose a point of focus for your gaze. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here in our dancer's pose. And gently exhaling, gently lowering that left leg with control. Both feet come back together. Lengthen your spine, place your hands on the creases of the thighs. We're going to walk the hands all the way down the legs. Making our way back onto the mat. Palms on the mat, step your feet back. This will be our last vinyasa. So optional to lower the knees, hug the elbows tight, hovering down, coming to up dog or cobra. 2 deep breaths. Press back, down dog. Take 1 deep breath. Right leg comes up. Step your right foot forward. Very nice. From here, we're going to keep the left hand to the inside of the right foot. And you're going to heel toe that right foot. Optional to keep the right foot to the just to the center line for support. Or maybe bring your right foot all the way back. Lots of variations for Vashisthasana side plank, or maybe you stack both feet. So find your variation. Other option is to drop the left knee. I'm going to extend that left arm up. Find your position. So here I'm going to even add 1/4 possibility. If you're happy staying there, stay there. Otherwise, from our side plank, we're going to bend into that left leg, reaching back and coming into our dancer's pose, but in Vashisthasana, so variation. Keep the shoulders stacking above the wrist. So I'm just going to demonstrate other side to show you. Grabbing the ankle, puffing the chest, take 2 more rounds of breath. And we're gently going to release. Come back into a high plank, lower your knees down, hips come back towards your heels. Come into your child's pose with the toes tucked. And just slow down the breath here. With every exhalation, telling your body to release. Very nice. Pressing back into your palms. Gently making your way into your downward dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Left leg comes up. Step your left foot in between your hands. Keep your right hand down. We're going to twist. And now heel toe that left foot half the way. Optional to stay here. Maybe bringing that left foot back. Maybe you drop the right knee. And you can even do that dancer's pose with the right knee down. So from here, we're going to move into a dancer's pose. Make sure your elbow is really stacked over the wrist. And I'm going to demonstrate from the other side to make it easier. So we're going to reach back, catching that left ankle, puffing the chest. 3 rounds of breath. You've got it. And maybe you're doing this in a supported variation with the knee down. And gently, the way you came, we're going to bring that left arm, the right arm down. So come into your plank pose, lower the knees down, hips back to heels, child's pose. And this time we're going to cross the right arm underneath the left armpit, left arm on top. So as if you're going to give yourself a hug. Release there. Notice now the pace of your breath. Seeing if you can feel your heart rate. And just swapping arms, so bring your right arm, placing on top of the left. Releasing those shoulders. And pressing into your arms, and press yourself up onto your shins. Lengthening the spine, place your hands on your sacrum there. Using your hands to push that fleshiness of the buttocks away down. Creating space in the lower back, but puffing the chest, elbows come together. Optional to tuck the toes or come onto the tops of the feet. And for you Kamalavas, Sustrasana is next. So this is a pretty deep bend as it is. Stay here if this feels like your sweet spot. Otherwise, you can reach back, catching your ankles, your heels. and breathe. Lovely. Walking your hands up the backs of the legs. Lengthen the tailbone. Draw the crown of the head up. Set your hips back onto your heels. And we're going to make our way down. Coming into some side stretches to the legs. So your right leg is extended. Bring your left foot to the inner thigh of the right leg. And you're optionally going to slide your right arm to the inside of the right thigh, or place it on top. So find your position. Breathe in and reach up and over the left arm. Feeling a release all the way up the left side of your body. Let your head be heavy. We're going to take 5 rounds of breath. You can let your leg fully relax here. So be passive in this pose. See if you can find softness. And taking another inhalation, press into your right arm. Sit up really nice and tall, and you're going to twist facing your right leg. Make sure your spine is long. Walk your hands down the outside of that right leg, folding over your right leg. Breathe here. Next inhalation, walk yourself back up, sit up nice and tall. Go to squat side, the left leg extends. Bring your right foot to that inner thigh of the left leg. Sliding your left arm down the inside of the leg or placing it on top. Reach up and over with your right arm, flex the left foot. Let your head be heavy. 4 more rounds of breath. Inhale, draw yourself up. And turn yourself to face your left leg. Walk the hands down that left leg. Release. Very nice. Inhaling, walk yourself all the way back up. Bring both feet together for a moment in our butterfly pose. Lengthen the spine, knees fall apart. One more deep breath in, breathing through the belly. Let your belly be soft. And we're going to draw the knees together with the hands. So we're going to make our way into our final resting pose. If you're by a wall, brilliant. And if you've got your cushion as well, you can use that. Optional, if you're by a chair, you can just put your legs up on the chair. So we're going to help reverse the blood flow here. Place that cushion underneath your hips. And make your way into this pose in the most smoothest way possible. Maybe readjusting the pillow. And just allowing yourself to be supported there. You can place your hands on your belly. So what we're doing now is we're allowing all the blood flow to move into the torso, reversing the blood flow, and really switching on our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, allowing us to slow down. And we have the sympathetic nervous system switched on. All the blood flows to the extremities. So the sympathetic is known as our fight or flight. So when we're in action. So this time of day, we want to slow down, or generally we want to slow down, that is. Not sure about all of your plans this evening. This is a great pose though to rest and digest, and it's where our body gets to regenerate and heal. And it's constantly healing, so allowing the parasympathetic to do its job. It's going to stay here for a minute or so longer. If you're really comfortable, and this is a great pose to stay in for even longer, you can stay with your legs off the wall. But if you prefer, we're going to make our way into Shavasana. So just extending the legs out onto the mat. Right leg extended, left leg extended. Drop shoulder blades down. Taking a deep breath in. And we're going to lion's breath it out through the mouth. 2 more times, inhaling through the nose. Lion's breath through the mouth. Last round, inhale through the nose. And release. You have nothing left to do but relax and reap the benefits of your practice. Fully let go. Just take a moment here just to notice your energy now. Noticing any similarities from before, or anything that's changed. Just observing. And you always have the option to stay as long as you like in your Shavasana, if you have the time. And if you have the need, or it's time for you to finish your practice, you can gently, with your eyes closed, make your way into your comfortable seat. Taking a deep breath in, and we're going to hum it out. And just sitting with the resonance of the vibrations in your body. You can bring your palms together if you're finishing now. And just thank yourself for practicing, for looking after yourself. And take a moment of gratitude for your day. And maybe the first thing that pops into your head that you're grateful for today. Bring all of your attention to that one thing. The first thing that pops into your head. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful yogis. Let me know if you have any feedback. It's always great to hear. I hope to see you again soon.